Hello everyone, this is Todora and we are in Chaos Zero Nightmare. Today, we're gonna do a review or my impression of the girl who are on the screen right now, right? Our mayor, Heidemarie. So, if you just want a really quick review, she's broken, you should pull her. If you want the best of her, you want her support and at least her E2. That's all. But anyway, let's go through her kit and maybe we're gonna talk about her decks later. Actually, before doing any of that, let's show you guys how she performed, right? Maybe let's do Nebula without any of this because I don't want to stress too much. And let's use the proper team, not testing Cassius. Alright, this is one of the team I love, right? Heidemarie, Nia, and Ray. Nia is just here for discard and draw. Ray is just for the buff. Heidemarie, blade, attack. So yeah, the basic kit for Heidemarie is really easy. You just want to generate the blade from either expansion or sword rain. This deck doesn't generate from sword rain because sword rain gonna activate for free when that happens, and it's not happen, so that's fine. First turn is wasted, but that we just need a little bit of build up for this deck. There is the other type of deck that doesn't need this much build up. But as you can see, we can do this. Predator, just snack time, draw more cards, why not? We don't get the card we want yet. Where is she? Surely. Okay, that's fine. We can just directly use that. And we're gonna draw another sword rain. Why not? Use that. And you see how much damage that does, right? Yeah, that is Heidemarie. Beware, what I'm using right now is E4. So it's gonna be like 50% more damage than the normal without any dupe. But without any dupe, she already really strong. Anyway, back to her kit. So her kit, we have sword rain and expansion that can generate a frozen blade, right? And why this blade is important? Well, it's the main source of damage for her. It's linked, and when you use this, it's do 120% damage. And if this card is do 120% extra attack to random enemy, this card will not move to draw pile on shuffle, so it's gonna stay in your discard pile always. That means even though she generate a lot of cards, a lot of these blade, right? Unlike with, for example, Lenore or even Diana, who generate a lot of bullets, those bullets will mess up your deck size, will mess up your rotation. A frozen blade doesn't do that. It's gonna be nice, be docile, and stay in your discard pile forever unless you use sword rain that activate them for free, right? You can repeatedly activate the same 5 blade without any trouble. Or you use a frozen release, which gonna exhaust all of those frozen blade and increase the damage of this card by the number of those stack plus 100%, not 120. This is from potential. But to get release, you need to have compression first. So compression, after you discard compression 3 times, right? You're gonna gain 3 effulgent light and transform this into release. nothing too hard, nothing too hard. And because the compression already have link, any link card you use, this gonna be discarded by itself. You don't need to worry too much about this. Trade of Light is her main DPS outside of using the blade and using release. There is one that buff all of your attack card, this one, right, plus 80% to your link card. That's fine. Other than that, is mostly just for damage and link damage, triple damage with 3 link. Activate all link card. This is funny, right? This is funny because the best thing to use this with right now that people found out is actually with Rita, who make like maybe 5 Fate imprint and have high cost on them, and you just use this to activate those imprint for free. That is the best one. And lastly, Hero to All. This is her draw mechanic, right? She is a main DPS, but she have a draw. How broken is that? But the downside of this draw is that every card that she draw gonna apply a link, or she gonna apply a link to other card. In my opinion, the best two is actually Epiphany 4 and 5. 4, you select one from anywhere and apply link to that card forever. Or this one, draw 2 attack card and apply link to all attack card in hand. Draw 2 attack card usually work the best with short range, right? Draw 2 short range and you're gonna get, if you use this one that get 2 Afrogen Blade, you're gonna get 4 extra Afrogen Blade. So that is a lot of attack just from one draw, right? And it only costs 1. You can use Epiphany to reduce this cost to 0, and that's gonna be broken too. And yeah, that's all for the cards. Next is Memory Fragment. I use Prelude to a Hero, a new set, because it's a new set. But in terms of performance, you don't need to use this. In terms of performance, it's comparable to Conqueror aspect, because most of your attack, your damage come from 1 cost card, so plus 35% crit damage is actually might be better. But this one, right, only 1 cost card, so your release will not get this buff because release is 0 cost. Trace of Light is either 1 cost, 2 cost, 3 cost, depend. So it's not always get this. But for this one, you get 15% crit chance always. Max 2 stack, but 2 stack just increase the turn to 2. It doesn't increase crit chance, right? Because crit chance is maxed at 15%. Sadly, if it go to 30%, that is too broken. But yeah, this is perfect for her already. If you don't want to use this, if you don't want to use Conqueror aspect, you can just play with what? Attack percent, crit damage, the last one, the last 2, Agony, you can try. But yeah, the best for, in my opinion, is either Prelude or Conqueror. That is all for the fragment, and the main stat is the usual, right? Crit chance, passion damage, and attack percent. Lastly is her ego, right? The first dupe just upgrade her mystic card, right? The Virgin Lily to do more damage, plus 200%, and increase the stack from, I believe, 80 to 120. To dupe basically move compression to your hand at the start of battle, so you can do like OTK easier because compression is already in your hand. Because without this dupe, you're gonna have to draw compression by yourself, and it might be at the bottom of the deck, so it's gonna take a while for the combo of compression into release to be online. And other than that, you also get Crimson Blade, the unique buff for her, 5 aim return. And Crimson Blade is exactly whenever you use a link card or you discard a link card, you do 120% extra attack to enemy with the highest HP and decrease Crimson Blade by 1. You can get up to max 8 stack. Really good supplementary damage, and if you build her with the substat with plus extra attack damage, it's gonna scale into this too, right? The third one is nothing much, it's just upgrade her eco skill to do more damage. The fourth one, whenever you use or discard a link card, only Heidemarie link card, right? Gain a chain, a frozen chain, maximum 10 stack. So that is plus 50% damage to Heidemarie if you manage to use or discard at least 10 link card. These are permanent, so you can just stack this until 10 and you do more damage. Fifth one is whatever, increase potential level by 3. The last one though is make so that all of your Frozen Blade become all attribute card. That means it's gonna benefit from attribute weakness on any enemy, every enemy, and every time your Crimson Blade is activated, plus 40% damage to Crimson Blade at maximum plus 480. So after you activate Crimson Blade 12 times, the total number of Crimson Blade per box gonna go to 600 extra attack per box, and you get 5 of them per turn. That means 3000 extra attack per turn if you manage to discard 5 cards. You see how broken that is? It's so broken that everyone who have enough resource gonna try their best to get to E6. Of course, we have, for example, here we have Omega Code, right? We're gonna have another Omega Code when the part 2 of the season open. Other than that, we also have the shop, the memory card. We can use this thing to exchange for Heidemarie, 400 per dupe and maximum 2 dupe. Sadly, the dupe exchange only available during the banner because she is limited. When she gone, you cannot exchange her anymore. Because if you look at this, I cannot exchange for Selenial in here. Right, because Selenial is limited banner, sadly. So I might try to push her to 6 dupe and she's gonna be so broken. But remember, this is Chaos Zero Nightmare. We see how Depth try to nerf the character without nerfing the character before, right? By making so that the boss mechanic kinda counter the character, right? Because right now, if we go to Nebula Distortion, we have this, right? Chain tenacity of the boss to 0. That means Selenial not gonna do well at all in this fight, right? So something like this can happen in the next season to nerf or limited the usage of Heidemarie, but hopefully you can find a way around that and she's gonna be strong no matter what. It's just gonna be a little bit harder to do some of the content, but that's fine in my opinion if you want to. There is nothing wrong trying to max dupe or at least get as many dupe as possible on limited character in my opinion, because their performance is far above any other 5-star. Right, there is a clear difference in terms of power level between Heidemarie, Selenial compared to every other damaging or any useful 5-star unit in the game right now. So yeah, don't feel bad if you want to try and get her to max dupe or as high dupe as possible, because she worth it. In my opinion, her performance is really amazing. But before you go for any dupe of her, if you have resource left to consider getting a dupe for her, first thing first, you want to have Severe, her partner, her exclusive partner. because severe help her so much. The passive is fine, right? Increase attack, get you more crit damage, get you more attack for passion card. But the most important of severe other than this passive is actually her active skill, her ego skill. Only cost 2 ego point, apply, link to 2 card in hand. And for those, if those card is from the combatant link card, plus 10% crit damage. And this is permanent, by the way. Sorry, I'm blocking the view. You see here, 10%. This is permanent. So at maximum, you can get another plus 20% crit damage from this if you link 2 of Heidemarie card. But you can also use it to link or any other combatant card. Whoever has 0 cost, right, to discard the card for free, that also works. And you can see here this buff, right? This buff is not turn limit, so as long as you discard at least 3 cards, 3 link card of Heidemarie, it's gonna be full active. And yeah, I highly recommend you get severe first before you get any of the dupe. But after that, if you get severe already and you on the fence of getting a dupe or not, she is limited. In 2 weeks, she gonna be gone. So if you like her design, like her gameplay, like her animation, feel free to just pull for her. Because who coming next, we don't know. Higher chance to be Tenebria, and I know a lot of people is a fan of Tenebria from Epic 7, but she is not limited. You can get her from Spark, right? Not Spark, sorry, from Spook by pulling on standard banner after the banner end or whatever. So she gonna be easier to acquire compared to Heidemarie. Alright, that is all about Heidemarie from me. But not all for today. We're gonna look at the decks that I believe that this is like 3 most common used deck for Heidemarie. So first deck is the deck my favorite deck, the deck that I used before. Is 3 Rain with activate 5 Effulgent Blade in Graveyard for free. Not for free, for 1 cost. Ideally you want reduced cost on this, but that's fine. And 2 expansion here. Actually, can I zoom in? No. Well, I can zoom in like this, but it's not going to show only one of them. That's fine. This is the first variant, right? The second one, you want Sword Rain with create 2 Effulgent Blade, right? And just get this 4 copy of this and 1 upgrade of Effulgent expansion to get plus 50% damage permanently. And now what you do is just use spam Sword Rain and get a lot of Effulgent Blade. Use Hero to All to draw 2 of these or 1 of these and 1 of Trade of Light. And use any of these to discard and activate a lot of attack from this card itself, right? Because in the first deck, you not gain much attack from this card. You gain attack from activate blade that are already in your graveyard. This is different. This is gain from this card. And after you collect a lot of blade in your graveyard, you can use release, compression and release to exhaust all of that to gain more damage. For the first deck, if you don't want to, you can. If you want to, you can remove release and just stacking and use 5 Effulgent Blade in your graveyard without much trouble. That also worked, right? But with release, just in case, I gonna include release just in case we want to burst the boss, right? So this is like most common decks and it's a really consistent deck in terms of DPS, right? In my opinion, these are comparable between each other. The last one though, this one that I'm blocking again, sorry. The last one, this is, well, it's like a meme, but it's not really a meme because it can do a really good number of damage. But basically you want 4 expansion that creates 6 blade in this card pile, and you just use one of them to activate all of this. That means 24 blade per turn, right? Per turn. And if you can manage to make release in one turn, 24 blade, how much damage is that?
今日はお仕事なん。
So you just use
Heidemarie
release and you gain what? This is max potential, not max potential. Yeah, max potential. So we add a no 120, right? Times 24. That is already 2,800 plus 840. 3.7k percent damage in one turn. If you can manage to pull this off, right? Or you can have all this, use Trade of Light, right? If you manage to have release on hand already, use Trade of Light, get the first 24, and use this again. For example, if you have Mika to gonna give you more AP, use this 4 again. That's gonna be 84, right? 84 blade in one turn. So 84 times 120, 5,000 plus 840, 6,600 in one turn. If you can manage to pull everything off, is look like a meme, but it's not a meme. It's like a really high damaging build if you can pull this off. The only requirement is that you need to pull the combos off. Otherwise is you basically do nothing that turn. And you can see we have zero attack card other than Sword Rain. But Sword Rain have exhaust, so after you use this one, everything else doesn't do any damage. So you need to get released to do a damage. So yeah, this is a meme deck, not a meme deck because it do a really crazy amount of damage. If there is only one enemy on the field, this deck can basically just delete them in one turn, I believe. Alright, that is all 3 decks that I can think of Heidemarie and that I saw people use. So you can copy any of this, and if you want to use this site, right, this is quite a useful site to create or plan the deck you want. The site is actually CZNmetadex.com, right? CZNmetadex with S.com. You can just go in here and look at the deck build or search the deck, but it's not available yet. So you just come here, select whoever you want, right? Heidemarie, and start building, and it's gonna count all of the points for you. Alright, that is all for me today. I hope you have fun playing video game. Good luck on your pool for Heidemarie or any other gacha you playing. And have a good day, good night wherever you are. See you again next time. For now, bye bye.